tweeting, death and Peaches Geldof took the attention of a Dunedin academic recently. Dr. Rosemary Overell has been writing about the relationship between social media and the big sleep, and she joins us to explain. Good evening.
Hi.
Now, you wrote a newspaper article that was published over the weekend, and readers would have discovered something about you, what you do when you wake up. Tell us about that.
Well, I think hopefully I'm not crazy, but hopefully a lot of people do this. As soon as you wake up, your alarm goes off on your smartphone, you check your social media. So I was scrolling through Twitter and this RIP Peaches hashtag kept cropping up, and it had just been announced that she'd been found dead. So I had this immediate following of the hashtag.
Tell us a little bit about Peaches Geldof.
Well, she's the daughter of Paula Yates, a TV personality who tragically died of a heroin overdose in the 90s, and Bob Geldof, who's the Band-Aid guy. And I guess she's a socialite. She was a fashion model, and more recently, and she was known as a party girl when she was a teenager, but more recently she's settled down and married a guy called David Cohen and had 2 children. And unfortunately, yes, she passed away last week.
What was the response on Twitter to her death?
Well, I was quite interested because there was a real outpouring of sentiment and emotion around her death, and this real intensity of people identifying with her, particularly as a mum. That was a lot of the tweets were around empathy and sympathy for her family.
Now, you claim that social media has changed celebrity death. How has that happened?
Well, I guess that's in the sense the temporality has changed, the intensity around it's changed. It's this very fast-paced sort of scrolling culture where, okay, Rip Peaches was trending on Friday, but now it's something completely different. So there's this ephemerality within it as well. There's a high moment of high intensity where people are sort of either outraged or joyful or saddened in this case, and then it sort of disappears very soon after and is replaced by the next intense emotional response.
Now, you discussed the moral dynamic around Peaches' death. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, a lot of the press, not so much the tweets, but the press straight after her death went around this idea of she was a redeemed bad girl. So motherhood had actually sort of redeemed her as a public figure. And certainly her tragic death, in a way, also feeds into that. She's almost kind of martyred through that as well, I would say.
Now, the moral discussion around celebrities isn't new. How has social media changed it?
Well, I guess we have the possibility for people, minor celebrities, to become bigger stars, I guess. I mean, Twitter celebrities would be what I'm thinking of here. Peaches hadn't actually done anything in the public eye recently, especially not, I mean, sure, she got coverage in England to a certain extent, but certainly outside of there wasn't a huge amount of coverage since her bad girl days. And however, she had a lot of Twitter followers who were sort of following her everyday life as a mum, you know, looking at her photos and things like that. So I guess social media has allowed us as ordinary people to feel a sort of intimacy with these celebrities.
Now, on a completely different note, you apparently have the floor to get some free advertising in for the union.
Okay. Coming up tomorrow, we've got Boots Riley visiting Dunedin, and he's giving a free talk, 5:30 p.m, 10th floor Richardson building. It's called Moot Court, Hip Hop and Class Struggle, sponsored by the Tertiary Education Union and Radio 1. Thank you for that.
Dr. Rosemary Overell, thanks for your time.